Hello, and welcome to the Cory Network. We have several real estate industry focused podcast shows showcasing around top leaders, company cultures, and experts serving all verticals of real estate. First up, we have Meet Your Next Best Hire, a podcast featuring and highlighting top industry real estate leaders looking to land their next venture in the job marketplace. And second, we have Company Culture Ambassadors Show, a podcast featuring top leading brands and organizations sharing their company culture, values through their voice to attract top talent to join their teams. And finally, Coffee Convos with Kelsi Cory, a podcast featuring real estate industry experts adding value through their insights, expertise, and backstories to our community. I'm Kelsi Cory, your host. With over a decade of real estate executive search and recruiting experience and the founder of Cory Executive Recruiting and Leaders on Deck, I've had the unique privilege of partnering with top real estate firms to recruit and place high-level leaders across the country. In these podcasts, we will have the amazing opportunity to hear top real estate industry leaders and organizations sharing their career stories, leadership and management style, and ultimately what they're known for in their craft and values that they're driven by. I can't wait to dive in and connect you with the best talent in the marketplace with top industry leading brands and building high performing teams. Let's dive in together. Welcome, everybody, to one of our episodes today on the Company Culture Ambassadors Show. I am so excited to create space today with Thu-Van Cunningham. She is the Director of Recruiting at Western Wealth Communities. We're going to actually have the opportunity to hear from her as an industry leader. What's it like to work at Western Wealth Communities? More about their company culture, their values. They're always hiring and making different transitions inside the market. And so thank you so much for spending time with us today. I can't wait to hear and learn more about you guys.
Well, Kelsi, thank you so much for having me today. I was super excited to speak with you today and share a little bit about who we are, how we came about, and our culture here at Western Wealth Communities.
Yes. And so just to kick it off, so for our audience who may not be overly familiar with your guys' brand and organization, at a high level, can you give us a little bit more color about what you guys do, which markets you serve, and what's your specialty and craft?
So we are currently in Dallas, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. We're owner managed. Our parent company is Western Wealth Capital. They're based out of Canada. They've been around for about 10 years. Recently hit a milestone of $5 billion in transactions.
Wow.
And yeah, I know it's incredible what they've done. And then back in 2020, they decided to start a property management company. So that's who we are. And we have, I would say, 27 properties and 7,000 plus units.
Perfect. I love it. And the fact that you guys are owner operated, I mean, I will say people are very much, if they had to choose, that is a huge advantage inside the marketplace that you guys have to offer. And I love the fact that you guys just hit a huge milestone, 5 billion. That's very impressive, especially having your own capital partners that are supporting your guys' brand. I'd love to learn a little bit more about what's your influence inside the organization. Can you give us a little context about, your role and how does that make an impact?
So, as you mentioned, I'm the director of recruiting. So when I came on board back in 2020, there really wasn't any processes or procedures in place. So my goal was to get us to where we needed to be as far as headcount as we continue to grow. We grew very rapidly the first 2 years.
Right.
I believe we had, 10 properties, and within the first 2 years, we quadrupled in size.
Wow.
So not only were we growing on the corporate side, but we were also growing at the site level. So it was important to make sure that we had the headcount and the right people to come aboard and help us to continue to grow and to continue to make that impact in the industry and in the marketplace that we were in.
I love the fact that you started right whenever the brand took off. I mean, yes, 5+ years at this point. And that's a testament, I'm sure, as well, from you starting with really rolling out, how is this going to look like? And the people, right, are their most important asset. That's what we always hear and say. And you were a heavy and integral part of that process. And here we are, 2025, and you guys are absolutely killing it. And I know that you have had a large part inside of like putting the right people in the right seats. And that kind of goes into our next question, which is, people, whenever they are looking, right, when top candidates are looking for new opportunities, they always want to have a better understanding of like, what's it like, the company culture and the values. Can you share a little bit more and give us some more color into how would you describe your guys' company culture and the values that you guys live by?
So I would say, and culture is important. That's something that people look for, right? When it's not just
Yes.
about the position, but there's more about the position and the company. So I would say Western wealth communities, we're people first.
Yeah.
Some people think it's about the numbers. It's not about the numbers for us. It's about the people. It's about our residents. For us, it's making sure that we're supporting our new hires, we're providing them the tools and the training to continue to have a career with us. With that, we also understand that it's not just our employees, but it's also our on-site residents, right? So
Right.
we want to make sure that they're having the right experiences and that they feel they are valued. So we value our residents. We also value our employees, and we just want it to be a workplace where they can thrive and grow. We also have a few hashtags that we live by.
Yeah.
One is TMV, that's my village.
Oh,
The
I love
other
that.
is We've Got Your Back. And the third one is BSU, and I'll give you the PG version. It's blow stuff up because
Yeah.
we want to come in and make an impact.
Boy, I love it. I love it. I'll have to write those things down. I love that we've got your back. I know that I often will use that phrase as well. And I think that just resonates back to you guys are very people driven, people focused, whether it
Right.
is your residents, the communities that people are living in, and then also just your team members across the board inside whatever market that they might be, working outside of. And I think that is my next question, which is, how would you guys compare in terms of your competition in the market? Like, what are some of the value adds and things that you guys do differently, maybe than other organizations within the markets that you guys are serving?
Well, I think one of the things that we're doing is, we're taking a look at our on-site teams and because, without your on-site teams, you're not going to operate, right?
Right.
They're who we need to keep things going. So I think we're looking at ways to invest in them, whether it be technology or training. We are often at the sites visiting. I'm making it a point now to make sure I go out to the sites at
Yeah.
least, um, I would say try to go once every couple months, but try to hit them all.
Yeah.
So that they have that connection to us, have that face. It's not just a name or an email. It's a face, right? So they love it when we come out. We've noticed that they really enjoy it, and it also gives us an opportunity to see exactly what it is each position does. So that way, when we are looking to backfill a position, we know exactly what type of person we're going to need. So I think that gives us a little bit of the edge where I think some companies, maybe that are a lot larger, don't have the ability or the
Mhm.
time to get out to their sites and get to know the positions with each person.
Yes, I love it. So it's really like not just putting everybody onto all these different locations and different sites and different markets where like they almost feel like they're on an island. You guys really try to find ways to still build community, still build that support system. And like you said, that face-to-face time where you actually get to know the individuals that are representing your guys' brand and also serving your residents, which is really critical nowadays. People, especially in the remote environment, right? I think people still really are hungry to be able to know the leaders that they're serving at the end of the day and vice versa. And of course, I always like to get a good idea. So
who would you say is like a good kind of like benchmark that would thrive in your guys' organization? What type of personality or character traits have you noticed throughout time that you're like somebody who has X and X and X really tends to do very well with your guys' team?
Mhm. I would say personality wise, what I'm looking for is somebody who's outgoing because a lot of times they're going to be facing the residents. Somebody who's outgoing, who's a problem solver, and someone who has grit, right? Because it
Yes.
can be tough. So I think they need to have grit, and I think they need to have the ability to learn each personality because every resident's going to be different.
Hmm.
So they need to understand and work with the type of personality or the potential resident that they have. So, and willing to learn. If you're not willing to learn, then, you probably won't be successful.
Yes. So coachability, problem solvers,
Hmm.
folks that have grit can roll up their sleeves and, folks that are going to be outgoing that can connect with pretty much anybody walk of life that's going to be coming through those doors is going to be set up to be successful with your guys' organization. I love it. And I think grit is so critical and underestimated because grit is honestly one of those things that you only get when you are really working inside the space in the industry and it's an acquired skill. I don't think any of us wake up one day and we all have grit. I think it's really going through and learning and adaptability through that process. So I love the fact that that is a key priority that you found to be successful with your guys' teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Grit and, the willingness to learn. We
Yes.
didn't all come into this industry knowing, everything. Your first on-site position's going to be your leasing and being able to learn. And you
Yes.
can and you can really have a great career path
Yeah,
within multifamily.
absolutely. I love it. And I think also, kind of walking into, right, companies are always scaling up, they're always scaling down, there's always transitions, there's always movement. How would you describe, right? I think the most important thing that people recognize is when there's a lot of changes inside an organization every single year that takes place, how do you keep the integrity intact with the company culture? How do you guys just through, even like we were just talking about earlier on about you guys have scaled up and scaled down. What have you guys done in terms of being able to maintain your guys' culture?
Well, when you're scaling up or you're scaling down, I think it's very important as an organization to be transparent.
Hmm.
Jennifer is amazing. She, has had these all company calls to explain what's going on, ensuring them, and being transparent with what's going on, I think is crucial.
Yes, yes. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is sometimes when we don't lead with transparency, witnessed what can happen is that your narrative's not being controlled by, essentially the leadership team. And then people can feel a sense of what is going on and what type of narratives are being created out there. So I love the fact that you guys are instilling, like you said, Jennifer, is always putting focus on transparency, communication, and give everybody that kind of context so that everybody's moving in one direction. And
Mhm.
one of my last questions that I always love to ask is, for the future talent that is considering working for you guys' organization and your current team members there, what do you hope that people feel and that they walk away with whenever they get to experience encountering with Western wealth communities?
Well, one of the things, when I'm talking to a candidate, a lot of what I tell them, is about who we are, how we came about, how we quadrupled in size the first 2 years during a global pandemic.
Right.
That I think that right there speaks volumes about our parent company, Western Wealth Capital, and about our leadership here with Jennifer Stachokis. So, and I think when I'm talking to people, they can hear that I truly do love working for Western Wealth Communities, and it does come across. So I tell them about, where we started, how many units we had, where we are currently, the markets that we're in, and also letting them know that we do invest, in our employees. And when I'm interviewing someone, it's not always just about the current position that they
Right.
applied for, but where do I see them in a few years? And I like to give them some of these success stories. There's been property managers that I hired that are now regionals, or leasing professionals that I hired over the years are now assistant managers. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for, having a place that they can come to every day, enjoying the people they work with, enjoying the company culture. We do things for our on-site teams. We just had our yearly picnic. It was so much fun. Yeah. And so, I think that's the things that they want to hear. And then they want to leave that interview or knowing that, hey, this sounds like it's a really good company. I have a great opportunity to grow here. They really invest in us. They provide the tools and the training, and we're hands-on. It's important to have that face time with people.
I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for sharing. I mean, of course, there's always so much more we can go into, but I love the fact that you guys are always looking to promote within, like you said, whether you're starting out in leasing as an assistant manager, and now they've become regional property managers within your guys' organization. Sounds like there's always opportunity for upward mobility and really developing and mentoring and fostering those relationships with your team. So everybody out there, if you have not yet followed or know of Western Wealth Communities, I definitely can highly recommend them. I think that they are making a huge impact inside the space. And back to your point is that you guys are hands-on. You guys are not just like looking at everybody on a head count. You guys are actually investing in those relationships, and you want people to be set up for success. And so we hope that encourage everybody within the Cory Network to go and follow on. I would say after this episode, we'll have everything listed out so that people can go to your guys' website, check out any new opportunities you guys are hiring for in all those different markets that you guys are serving in. And I can't wait to kind of see where you guys go in the next 5 years and continue to be a huge supporter of your guys' branding organizations. So thank you again for creating space and being on the show today.
Oh, Kelsi, thank you so much for having me. I was super excited about speaking with you today, and thank you for keeping that continued relationship we have. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I can't wait to see all the new talent you guys are going to bring on the coming years. I mean, it's really admirable. Like you said, in the last 5 years, what you guys have built, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about. It's only been 5 years, and where you guys are heading. So thank you again. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again for listening and sharing your time with us on the show. I hope you enjoyed listening and learning from various leaders our industry is so fortunate to have inside the real estate space. If you're a high-level leader within the diverse real estate ecosystem and looking to land your next venture and would like to share your story from your own voice and perspective, or if you're a leading real estate organization and want to share through your own voice and narrative your company culture, values, and ways you recruit and retain top talent, let's get connected. Then be sure to check out our firm also at Cory Executive Recruiting and Leaders on deck via CoryExecutive.com. Our mission is to continue to be trailblazers within the recruitment space and bring meaningful leaders to the forefront to drive growth and empower people. If you've enjoyed this session, please like, comment, and subscribe to support us. And thank you so much to our partners at Multifamily Media Network. We couldn't be more grateful for our collaboration. Stay tuned and join us on our journey.